Hey everyone, welcome back. I am Stephanie Smith and this is Libby Magliolo, and we are talking today just some quick tips about the full life cycle of your application process. And today we're talking about question prep for interviews. The favorite tell me about yourself, which you are basically guaranteed to get the second you sign up for an interview. So everyone loves this one, maybe, or maybe everyone dreads this one, I'm not sure. But we're going to give you some tips and tricks to handle it smoothly and really, really set the tone of your interview. So I'll start off here. My words of advice are to, once again, start with your resume. So hopefully, if you got the interview, it means that your resume is in great shape to begin with. So congratulations. And you probably have a summary section or an objective section at the top of that resume. This would be, in my mind, your launching off point for having a great answer to tell me about yourself. In this, section, you've got 2 to 3 sentences that are really boiling down like who you are, where you're going, what you bring to the table, and what it is that you're looking for in your next position. You can always expand upon this, but this is your roadmap. This is your guiding light for that elevator pitch where you're going to come in strong and confident. You're going to practice ahead of time, just like, all of your content that you're going to be talking about in your interviews. You're going to be confident saying, here's who I am. Here's where I came from. Here's my experience. You're going to highlight a few things here and there. And here's what I'm looking for. I'm not, I'm here to have this be a productive conversation. And I'm going to tell you up front, what I'm looking for and how it aligns with what you're looking for to fill this position. You come in strong, and that really sets the tone. If you come in with a weak answer, you kind of ramble on a little bit and you don't have anything strong to say about yourself, it looks like you're not confident in your own skill set and your own abilities. And that's not what somebody's looking to bring in. So look to your resume for guidance for your answer, and then just come in with confidence and really think about how you're communicating who you are and how that is going to help your potential employer. So I'll hand it over here to Libby here. Libby, what else do you have to add to that?
Yeah, couldn't agree more that if you've done the hard work on your resume, this question becomes a lot easier. And to Stephanie's point, you will unquestionably get asked this as the first question in your interview. It's either going to sound like, so tell me a little bit about yourself, or I'd love for you to walk me through your resume. This is going to be the first question. The first thing I'll say about this is the number one pitfall in this question is having too long of an answer. Just think about kind of your attention span when you ask a friend, hey, how's your weekend? Think about if they talked at you for 2 minutes, your mind is completely somewhere else. So I'm always a fan of skewing on the shorter side and ending with if there's anything that you'd like me to dive deeper in, I'd be more than happy to. Just think about your interviewer's attention span. They're human just like you. So don't push beyond 30 to 60 seconds. Agreed that the resume is a great starting point. The way I like to answer this question is kind of reverse chronological. So start with just a brief mention of your, undergraduate experience, and then kind of work up from there. I handle this exactly like I handled my resume, which is my positions 10 years ago probably get one line on my resume. They probably get half a sentence in this answer. Whereas my more recent experience gets a lot more airtime on my resume and it gets a lot more airtime in my answer. So that's how I like to handle it. The other piece of advice that I would give is it's up to you to kind of craft this narrative and pull out all the common threads. And your end goal is showing your interviewer, hey, everything I have done has led to me being the perfect person for this position. So even if you're applying for a completely different role, pull out the threads from a previous role that are relevant. And so if you're applying for a data analytics job and that was a small piece of your very first job, still pull that out, have that in your answer. Say, it was my very first job where I got to do a little bit of building dashboards that I realized that this was something that I really enjoyed. And so it led me to my next role. So pull out those common threads, and it's up to you to make your career path sound very thought out, very intentional, very calculated, because that shows to your interviewer, hey, I've made intentional steps along the way. You and I both know that a lot of our career decisions are not that intentional, but you can kind of craft that story. The last thing I'll say, and this is very, very general interview advice, is don't paint things in a negative light here. Don't paint things in a negative light in any answer, but If you say, I left this job because I just couldn't stand to be in the same room with my boss and couldn't stand to look at their face, that's not a great sign. So you can always paint things very differently. I ended up leaving this role because what I was looking for was more managerial experience, and I was able to find that in my next role. So paint things in a positive light, make things look intentional, and kind of tell that story along the way, and everything kind of leads up to you being the perfect person for that role, for that job. So you can do yourself a lot of good in this answer, but like Stephanie said, it does set the tone. It is kind of the first question, so you want to make sure that you're well practiced, well rehearsed, and it comes out very polished and smooth. So that's it for us today. We are going to keep going with our series around everything around resume prep, job search, starting a new role. So keep tuning in, and we'll love to see you next time. Bye, everybody.
See you next